This
Timbers.
is Slip in the Man. Oh my goodness, man! What the hell just happened?
Oh my goodness, man! What the hell just happened?
What is going on? Hold on.
Giggities is already starting off on fire, man. How's everybody
Giggities is
doing?
already
Welcome
starting off
back
on fire,
to
man.
Slip
How's
in the
everybody
Now you
doing?
open somewhere.
Welcome back to Slip
Hold on.
in the Man.
Hold on.
Hold it. Oh, I'll have you on
Hold
this
on.
window. I had a whole other
You
browser.
got me.
We are all
You
messed
have a
up.
whole nother browser.
We're all messed
So
up.
one thing that I'm learning is that I don't have the desktop audio open on my end, so no one can hear me. Apparently, it's not actually playing through. I don't know, man. We're trying to do this co-stream thing, and right now I can't even figure out how to get the desktop audio playing on my laptop. So there's that. Like usually it just comes with it, right? Am I?
Maybe you need to have my stream actually open, like on an actual, like whatever browser you use, just so you have the audio coming through that. Maybe.
Well, I don't even have the audio mixer on it.
Huh?
Is this being recorded? Because it should be.
It is recorded, so we're good. Every second.
I feel like we take a few weeks off, we come back, we don't know what the fuck we're doing. We don't know how this is going to go. We don't have any script.
Nope.
I just hit my man up, and I was like, we just got to talk sports. There's so many sports going on, so much stuff going on. It's absolutely incredible. What the hell is going on with Aaron Rodgers? I thought he was smart.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't surprise me in a way, but in a way it does, but in a way it doesn't really. Because I mean, he does. I mean, look at him. He's definitely has that hippie vibe. You know, he's just like, oh, everything's natural. I don't want to do anything to my body, kind of thing. I can see that too. But you know, you think that with how NFL looks at it, you know, and if something happens like that, it gets fined. What, $15,000? They get fined.
Yeah, 15 grand for the pack, or for Aaron Rodgers, 300 grand for the Packers.
Yeah, 300 grand for the whole team.
And that's just absolutely incredible because what are the Packers doing in this situation, right? So there's only so far that I can blame Aaron Rodgers in this situation. You know, he obviously did not know what he was doing. He's immunized. He obviously lied. The reporters and the media did not ask him anything more about that. And then the Packers were like, shit. We can't let this guy get out. And then the lie got out, and now they're having to pay $300 because they didn't know how to tell this man, either tell the truth or just tell this man that he has to follow the other protocols. The league has been continuously making accommodations for people who don't want to get vaccinated. Society has continued to make accommodations for people who don't want to be vaccinated. And he just broke the rules.
Yeah.
On top of that, an organization did not force him to follow the rules. And I don't know which one's the bigger problem.
I totally agree with you, too. And it just adds on to this dilemma within the organization of the Green Bay Packers having an issue with Aaron Rodgers. It's just another chapter to the story here. I mean, it's just, you can't make it up, man. At first it's just the frustrations, and then now it's just this whole vaccinated and being not on the same page and trying to cover this all up, and then now it's out, and it's a mess, man. It's a shame the Packers organization, you look at them as one of the prestige organizations in the NFL, and this is just really bad look for them.
Yeah. And we don't even know if Aaron Rodgers is going to be back for the game against the Seahawks.
No.
Which is absolutely incredible.
But we know who's back, though. Russell Wilson's back.
Russell Wilson will be back, which makes it even more frustrating that Aaron Rodgers couldn't just be on his shit.
I know. This would be a hell of a matchup. I mean, two great quarterbacks going at it. I always love to see that matchup, Seahawks and Packers, with Rodgers and Wilson going head-to-head.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Also,
man.
I fixed the stuff on my stream. I finally added the desktop audio, so we once again are back, baby.
Finally. Yeah, I mean, you're going to have little the kinks, you know, you gotta
Yeah, you
work
gotta
out,
work
gotta
out the
stretch.
kinks with this co-stream thing.
Exactly.
Because, you know, when you want to get hours, I want to get hours.
Exactly. You know what?
That's how we're gonna do this thing.
Yeah, I don't want you to, you're doing it with not getting hours on your side. That's not right, man. It's messed up.
Yeah, but you know, we'll figure it. It ain't all about the hours, but
Hey, we're on our lazy river, man. We're just sitting here letting
we're
it
just
ride.
trying to go somewhere,
We're
right?
just trying to go somewhere.
So another thing, because you pissed me off yesterday, I absolutely needed some butthurt cream when I saw that Fairmouth
Yeah.
had a grade that was 2 points higher than Kyle Pitts.
Mm-hmm.
And
I was
like,
surprised,
"Fuck
too."
This shit. I was just like, man, Mitch is gonna rub this in my face. You know, I was gonna try to come up with all these excuses, like Kyle Pitts wasn't getting the ball, how like, you know, he wasn't really a tight end. And then I decided there was no argument I was gonna win because you don't know what that grade means. I don't know what that grade means. I think I know what that grade means a little bit more than you.
Probably.
But you got that dub. You won that one.
Stats don't lie.
You just wait till the end of the season, and you better hope that what's his name, Peter Fairmouth,
Pat
Fryermuth. Where is he from? England?
Penn State. Baby Gronk, baby.
Baby Gronk.
They've called him Baby Gronk since high school.
You know why this tight end has a better rating than Kyle Pitts?
Why is that?
Because your bum QB keeps dinking and dunking to him. How about that?
But have you seen the contested catches he's made, though? I think that's why his grade's higher.
Now, Mitch, let's not play dumb.
I'm just saying he has done that.
No, Mitch, you don't play dumb. You know damn well I ain't watching no Pittsburgh game.
Okay. Even when it's the only game
how
on.
am I going to see some contested catch if I don't want to watch cooked QBs?
Okay.
My QB's not cooked.
Well, I mean, Ben is 4-0 in the last 4 games with no interceptions. First time in his whole career.
The Pittsburgh Steelers are 4-0.
But he's the quarterback. He is driving the ship, baby.
What does that even mean?
That means he's controlling it, man. He can mess it all up by throwing turnovers, interceptions, but he's not. The last 4 games, he's not.
How about the ref getting in the way of the Bears winning?
I mean, that is frustrating.
What do you got to say about that? You let Justin Fields, who had been a bum up until this point, and now he showed me something, which we'll get to in a second. You let that man come back on y'all.
Yeah, I mean, it is frustrating, and like, in all honesty, Steelers should have lost that game with all the refs of what they caused, and let the Steelers stay in the game and let them up to one, even adding 3 points to a field goal because it was 4th down, or was it turnover? What was it? Turnover on downs or something like that. But it ended up extending the drive. They ended up getting a field goal, and those 3 points did come out big, and the factor of the end result. But
Yeah.
the Steelers just blew up. They're up 20-6 to start of the fourth quarter, and end up blowing the lead once again, like they have been all year. It's just like they get complacent, and that's just Mike Tomlin for you too. I think that's on the coaching as well, getting those guys to keep the pedal to the metal, because if not, they just let off the gas, and the offense has them where they're at, and the defense was playing well. Then they just the defense just okay, all right, let's let it ride the rest of the game. And then that's when the other team always just makes a comeback.
Yeah. You know, one thing is that I realized that was really upsetting to me after the Pittsburgh game. And I was like, man, that would have been some epic shit if both of our teams had these big-ass leads and almost blew that shit, only for our aging quarterback to go down the field and kick a field goal.
That's right. They still got it. So a little gas left in the tank, baby. The gas light's on, but there's still some gas left.
The gas light's on. The engine light is on. The
tires are low.
On. Goodness gracious. The Steelers somehow, and just like the Falcons somehow, still have a chance to make the playoffs.
It's amazing.
I don't get it. Right now, the Falcons are in the driver's seat of the seven seed.
That's insane. The only thing I can think of, the only reasoning I can think of is just any given Sunday, I guess. They just never know what's going to happen. Especially this year. There really isn't that many favorites out there besides a few, but like the Chiefs aren't what we thought they were at all, like beginning of the season. They've shown that they're...
What's up with them?
I couldn't even tell you. I know their defense going into the season was definitely their weakness, but now it's looking like their offense is struggling.
They're playing well. The defense has been playing pretty well.
And now the offense is struggling.
For the past, I'd say, 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And you know what I saw a stat, I think it was in their last game that they played, because they were in the game of the week against Green Bay, and Jordan Love, who that's your first round pick, and then he's in his second year. Sheesh. We'll get back to him too, but Patrick Mahomes isn't hitting on his long routes. He used to be able to just throw it up, and Tyreek Hill or Mecole Hardman were going to be under those balls, or what's his name that's in Baltimore now? Sammy Watkins.
Yeah.
They were going to be under that ball. They aren't catching those balls, and those balls are starting to turn into interceptions. On those balls that I think they said that on passes that travel 30 plus yards or more, the completion percentage was cut in half. I think his interception rate has damn near quadrupled, and the touchdowns have been more than halved. So when you think about a team that was able to put up points, and they're still able to put up points, but they're in that 22 to 24 points per game range when they used to be in that 28 points per game range. And that's a big difference. That's damn near a touchdown difference. And that's a huge reason why what's going on with those deep passes is really hurting this offense.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not extending plays. It's not, and it's keeping their defense on the sideline too, or they're keeping their defense on the field too much. And when a bad defense is on the field too much, that's what happens and lets teams hang in and damn near come back. Because that bum Jordan Love damn near came back on them. They let him hang around.
Exactly. Yeah, it was insane because I actually took the Packers. I was getting a little nervous there because I thought Packers were going to cover, easy, and then I'm over here sweating at the end of the game, and they just barely pulled it off. But I couldn't believe that they still had a chance to even win the game. Really, I mean, just being down. What it was a 6-point game at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
A 13-7, I think was the final score. But another thing I think that's a big factor in the Chiefs' struggles is the running game. They have no running back. They have no elite running back. They haven't had really anyone since Jamal Charles or Kareem Hunt, really. After that,
Kareem Hunt was that dude for Kansas City. But who's been a real disappointment? Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
Yeah, and that's what I was getting
and
to.
He's hurt right now, but it's not like he was doing anything it's not like he was doing anything when he was playing. Dude was fumbling, dropping passes, wasn't hitting the hole hard. He just generally did not look good.
No, he did not. It's disappointing for being a first-round pick, even though it was a late first-round pick out of LSU. That thought big things, and I thought big things from him, especially last year, drafting him early in fantasy leagues. And he didn't do too bad last year, but is still got away with more stuff. I think now this year is more pressure on him, and it's showing what he truly is.
Yeah, but I mean, how much pressure is actually on him? He's like the third option.
Oh, I mean, like offensively,
maybe even the fourth option.
As a team, the pressure's on the offense is what I meant.
I got you.
Because like the defense, you lost more even last year. That now it's really the pressure's on the offense to really score points, and that's how you win. It's all about outscoring the opponent at this point.
Yeah. Yeah. Well. And I appreciate you giggities being in both chats. You the real MVP, bro. You the real MVP. I walked away from this week of football just kind of thinking, what the hell happened?
Mm-hmm. Same here.
The Jaguars beat the Bills, and the Bills only scored 6 points. Which is absolutely insane.
After they're averaging like almost 30 points per game.
The Dallas Cowboys got their booty spanked by what team was
that? The Broncos.
The Broncos.
Out of the gate, man. The Broncos just came. They were ready to play, man. I was not expecting that.
And they didn't score until like 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Like, how does that happen? This is a team that could have possibly been the top team in the league. They could have been seen as the top team in the league.
I can tell you how it happened. It's a trap. It's a trap game.
Trap game.
Looking ahead.
They look to the Falcons?
Hey.
To the Falcons?
They just thought the Broncos were just all right, we got this.
Nobody is looking ahead to the Falcons. Everybody feels confident playing the Falcons, and it's a damn.
No matter what's a trap game, they just played down to the opponent at the end of the day. They might not have been looking ahead to the Falcons, but they definitely was a trap game, thinking that the prep going into it, and they just kind of probably were more. And the walkthrough was like, oh, okay, we got this kind of thing.
Well, I mean, it was on offense and defense. You giving up 30 points and you don't score over 7. Mm-hmm. That is crazy.
Yep, NFL, that's bad.
Yeah, that's absolutely terrible.
And Broncos have a decent defense, but still not. I mean, the Cowboys have one of the best offenses, at least top 5 offense in the league. So, with Dak Prescott at the helm.
Mm-hmm. So, when are people going to stop saying that Lamar Jackson isn't a good QB?
That's a good question. They should stop now. Honestly, I hate the throws he's made this year, especially. Like for me, I had my doubts with him, at least with his arm, before the season. Based on so far in his career, but this year you can tell he's really worked in the offseason on his throws, because the throws he's made this year have been very impressive, and he knows that he needs to build up his arm strength and his throws to make him able to last longevity in the NFL, because one day the legs aren't going to be all there, that he's going to have to rely on that arm eventually, and if he can get it all put together right now, he can be that Michael Vick type of quarterback.
I just don't get people hating on his arm.
I know.
Dude balls out.
Mm-hmm.
He uses his arm. He is a pass first guy. I just don't get how dude is passing all over people, tearing it up, and people are still like, oh, they figured him out. And why aren't they saying that about Josh Allen? Did they figure Josh Allen out now? Or they just say that about Lamar Jackson?
I think it's those people that are they hate Lamar Jackson because he's doing things that most quarterback, the atypical quarterback before, besides Vic, he's kind of an outlier, but a main quarterback is just a pocket passer, doesn't scramble too much, and all these newer quarterbacks, especially when it can scramble, they just are trying to find ways to to try to get rid of him almost, and just kind of like, he doesn't have an arm. He's going to get hurt. Mm-hmm. He's going to get hurt. He's always running. He's going to take a hit. He's going to hurt himself, and then he's not going to last in the NFL because injuries are going to affect him. Look at RG3, for example, same kind of thing. I think it's just more that the game's evolving and people are just they're like dinosaurs and don't want it to evolve. They just want it the same old, like the pocket passers, Brett Favre kind of gunslinger quarterback that's just a gunslinger pretty much,
Mm-hmm.
I think it's just more they're just trying to hate on him than anything.
Yeah. And I mean I believe that's exactly what that is, because it just honestly makes no sense.
No.
It just honestly makes no sense, and I just want people to hold the same standard that they have for every QB as they are holding for Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
And quite frankly, Lamar Jackson is getting a lot more hate than what is actually deserved. It just makes no sense.
I agree. Like I said, I wouldn't say I was a hater, but I had my doubts with him. But he's proved me wrong this year, especially with his improvements.
Mm-hmm. So Derrick Henry goes down.
Mm-hmm.
Do you expect this from the Titans?
I still thought they were going to cover Sunday night, but I was not expecting them to be that dominant. Still, like nothing changed really. Besides,
Absolutely, yeah.
I mean, you got Adrian Peterson. I like to pick up because I really think that Adrian Peterson, even if he gives them just a little bit of gas, like his engine light's on as well, and all the gas light, everything. But I still think there's some left in the tank there. And you still have him, and he doesn't have to play every down, so you can keep him fresh. And when you need a big run or need those extra yards, he's the guy right now, I believe, and he's got the size like Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
Then they have, what's the other guy, McKissick, or what is his name, or no, something, not McKissick.
McKinley?
It might be something like that. McSomething.
McNichols.
McNichols, that's right. Yeah,
Goodness
you got it.
Yeah. It was going to be one of them damn things.
It's a Mick for sure. We knew that. But
the Irishman.
But they have, so I think with those two, as long as they can they don't have to do everything. They don't have to have the workload because they had to adjust their offense, obviously, because Derrick Henry had the percentage of snaps and plays that ran through him, literally, was you can't replace that with anyone, even if you have multiple running backs, because they're not going to be able to be as productive. So as long as they can at least get a few yards per carry, do that, just make the run game respectable, and just open up everything else, I think they're just going to be fine. But it is a big loss, of course. But like I said, I was not expecting, especially against probably the best team in the NFL at the time, the Rams, who they beat on the road in LA, which was very impressive. And Titans are a team you don't want to play right now, because their defense is really good
definitely
too.
A team you don't want to play, and it's just absolutely crazy because you think that with their best offensive weapon, Julio Jones hasn't really been doing much because he's been hurt, and even AJ Brown has been down. What's his name? Ryan Tannehill hasn't been.
Yeah.
Tannehill hasn't been that guy, but he did a lot better now. And Justin just said, "Slip in the tap, man."
Oh, that's messed up.
Goodness gracious, that's funny, man. That's some funny shit. Anyway, but I think what that really says, because this was my preseason pick for Super Bowl, was the Rams.
Yeah.
I don't know if the Rams are good or not.
They're definitely playoff potential.
I don't know if they're top tier or not.
Yeah,
I think they're good.
They'll be playoffs.
But how good are they?
I couldn't tell you either, honestly, because do we know if OBJ is officially in LA?
Oh yeah,
He's official.
He's there.
Okay, so that we'll see. I mean, no, Stafford, another weapon for him, but I'm more surprised with the defense not doing. I guess they're not as dominant as I thought they were going to be, especially getting Von Miller didn't play Sunday. He'll be there next week. So we'll see if that makes a difference on the defensive side. Of course, you have Jalen Ramsey still locks down everybody, and Aaron Donald making the pressure on quarterbacks constantly. But still, I think I think they're a good team. We'll see. This is going to be a big once they add these additions of Von Miller and OBJ of how much they improve, or are they going to stay the same? So if they stay the same, then I'll know they're probably not that great.
You put OBJ with Sean McVay and I think it's going to work beautifully.
Yeah.
Cooper Kupp is already on historic pace to do some crazy
Incredible.
shit.
Cooper Kupp. Incredible.
And it's absolutely fantastic. I think that this will, because I'm an OBJ fan. I really am an OBJ fan. I think this is going to give them a chance to show that, like, he is still one of the better wide receivers in the league, and he doesn't have to be that number one guy. And I think OBJ absolutely knows that.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. And the crazy thing is too with the Rams in this sense is that with Cooper Kupp especially, like, I still consider him underrated. Like, I feel like he still has an underrated feeling, even though he is putting numbers now. Like, he won't be after the season, but for some reason he just feels like he's getting talked about, but it's still like. You see the other receivers like even DeAndre Hopkins, which that's another story of he's kind of been struggling as well. But it's just like these.
Yeah, he's been hurt a little bit.
Yeah, he's been played through injuries, but it's like Cooper Kupp still like I just hear his name. I mean, of course they're talking about historic stuff, but like even he's been putting up numbers for a while. It's just been his injuries that's been setting him back. But really, it's just like I don't know. I just feel like he's underrated still. It's almost like a Godwin situation, like Chris Godwin when he first. Broke out. It's the same kind of thing. I think this was finally his time to really truly break out, and it was a long time coming. We knew it was coming.
Right.
But I think that what I think in AFC, what shifted so far in the season to this point is that the Bills were up here. Of course, they lost the Steelers for week 1, but then they just went on a tear, and the Titans lost to the Jets. They were like, okay, man, what's wrong with the Titans? And they just, like, shifted places. I mean, it's just like those two teams just shifted, in my opinion. Because Titans' defense is really good as well.
Yeah, the Titans' defense they've always been a sneaky team.
Yeah.
But now, like, they're really showing that, like, they can really be about that life.
And that addition of Bud Dupree, and I knew when the Titans got Bud Dupree, I'm like, oh my, that's
a really good signing.
pickup.
Bud Dupree really started to come into his own over the past like season and a half.
Because he had a big injury season ending last year, so that's my thing was how is he going to come back off that injury? And so far, I mean, he's back to pretty much same old himself.
Yeah, it is a tough gamble, but it's good to see people bounce back like that. But it's good for him that he took a chance on himself going to some other place, and then he's balling.
That's right.
This is one of the first years where I feel like the NFC is overloaded with talented teams. That. Typically, the AFC has at least one or two teams that are up there, but they don't have any right now.
No. Titans really is the ones, but even them, we saw what they were at the beginning of the season, so you know what they can be. The Jets even beat them. So obviously any team's beatable, but they're very beatable if the Jets can pull it off. But yeah, there's just no dominant team. The Chiefs, the way they're playing. Ravens, I think, are probably up there right now with the consistency so far. I mean, but they have been with the Ravens though. The Lions and the Vikings. Those two games, the Vikings on Sunday, when it went to overtime and Justin Tucker bailed them out on a field goal, that they probably should have lost both of those games. And so they really aren't. I mean, they're obviously not as dominant like a true dominant number one seed team would be. So really, like you said, I can't even think of another team. I mean, Chargers were looking good for a while, but then they've lost. It's crazy. It is crazy how you said that. NFC is definitely the dominant conference this year.
Yeah. We typically don't do breaks within Slipping a Man, but my dog is absolutely going crazy.
I see him looking at you there.
Yeah, I know. Can we get a 3-minute break for me?
3 minute. All right, let's do it.
All right, I'll be back.
Be right back. back.
All right, man. Dogs, man. They don't know when they want to pee. They don't know when they don't want to pee. And it's just like, my goodness, man. But we are back, and this guy. I've never seen this man walk so much. It's an old ass dog, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, so you know he's chilling. He doesn't want to go for walks. This man wanted to do the longest walk outside. Started walking all the way around the house. I'm just like, yo, you gotta be kidding me. Where does this energy come from?
Well, I mean, that dog has been around, man. He thinks he owns the place, man.
He does think he owns the place. Listen, I can tell you one thing. Miss Slip might say that he owns this place, but he doesn't. I own this place.
Oh, okay, now.
I hope she's not in the stream again.
How about that?
Because, you know, I got in trouble last time that happened. But,
Yeah.
you know, put Big Red in the chat if you got him. Dog tripping, but
Dog tripping.
that's what he does. Anyway. We were talking about AFC teams and
NFC.
just-
The weight of the NFC's up here, while the AFC, the weight's all the way down. You know, but before the season,
look-
AFC was predicted to have more.
Yeah, but it's completely turned the tables.
Yes.
I think that's mainly because I don't think anybody expected the Cowboys to be this good. I don't think anybody expected
Cardinals.
the Cardinals to be this good. You know, the Bucks, of course, people expected them to be good.
The Rams were once they got Stafford, I think they thought that was a piece that they were really good.
But they didn't expect them to be. They came out the gates hot,
Yeah.
and then they kind of they've had two losses where it's just like, what's going on? They don't, where it's like you question if they're actually a complete team.
Mm-hmm.
But if you put the Rams in the AFC, they're probably one of the best, which is just absolutely wild.
Yeah, it really is, and like the Packers as well, like how they turned the tables after the first game. We're like, what is wrong with Aaron Rodgers and the Packers? And then they won 7 in a row after 8 in a row now. Oh no, they lost. They lost. No, 7 in a row. They lost against the Chiefs. That's right, because it's Jordan Love. That's right. They won 7 in a row though. After
6
the
in a
first
row.
Was it 6?
I think we're only in week 8.
Or last week was week 9. Well, but there was a bye.
Was there a bye?
Last week was week 9, which is hard to believe.
Man, it's kind of hard to believe, man. Season's halfway over.
I know. This years, everything is just flying, man. Just,
Rolling quick, man.
man. Down the hill. Can't stop it.
I don't know what to do with you, man. Throwing all these things out there. Anyway, who are your favorites out of the NFC and AFC right now?
So you mean just one team from each, like the Super Bowl favorites, or? Oh man, this is tough now. For NFC, AFC, I'll go first. Man, it's either one or two teams. I think Bills and the Titans. I think right now probably AFC Championship in my opinion right now, and I think not having Henry, I still think Bills come out. I think Bills are still going to be that AFC team. And for the NFC, I'm thinking about the Rams now still, especially with the additions they just got, and they obviously have shown they're all in with the moves they've made during the season here, these trades. So, or pickups. Really wasn't a trade with OBJ, it was just a signing, but still, I think I'm still going with Rams. I think they still have the balance of the defense and offense that it takes to be a champion. So. I'm going to go with the Bills and Rams. How about you?
Bills and the Rams. Right now, teams where I look at them right now, and there's no way I want to face them in the playoffs. In the NFC, I don't want to face the Arizona Cardinals. And in the AFC, I don't want to face the Ravens.
Yeah, I think Ravens were up there too. It was like I had the three teams I was trying to pick from, but yeah, Ravens, they're that team.
And I'm not saying that right now they're the best teams in any conference, but there are two teams that when they get high, their highs are really high.
Yep, they're hard to match up against once they get to that point.
And even their lows aren't too bad. You know, I think about that game that the Cardinals lost not too long ago against what was that the Colts that they lost to?
I think it might have been.
I think they lost to the Colts, and a game that was extremely surprising. But it's like it still came down to the wire. I think they made a couple bad plays, or they made one bad play at the end where the wide receiver didn't know that the pass was going his way. And that's all it was.
Yeah, and I remember that play vividly too. I'm just like, man, that's just play to just you wish you had back and just were on the same page because it just costed them. But it happens with any team, and there's always miscommunication plays and the quarterback and receiver not on the same page because it's crazy how much they are on the same page normally, which is crazy the chemistry that they have and the practice they put in with that. It just shows.
Yeah,
The Cardinals are definitely. I mean, I had them making the playoffs like a wild card, but I mean, like right now, and I think another reason the Rams are making the moves because they know the Cardinals are that good. So if they even want to win the division, they still got to keep adding and going like all in just to be able to win the division.
Yeah, absolutely.
There is one question I have to ask you. I can't
What's
believe we
up?
haven't covered it yet. How does it feel to be a champion?
Oh,
Atlanta
man.
Braves.
It feels like
World
it
Series
feels
champs.
like being a champion. I mean, what can I say? It feels good to say that I have the best team in the world. Hey, man, you better chill.
Big Red.
He's
like,
upset right now, and I'm not even sure why he's upset. But I'm the best team. The Atlanta Braves are the best team in the world right now, and there's nothing that y'all losers can say. Because everybody who's not a Braves fan, you are a loser.
I'm used to it.
So I mean, the real question is, how does it feel to be a loser?
Same old for me. So nothing new.
Yeah, the old Pittsburgh ain't spending money.
Nope. But that's what I'm gonna say. It's just so you have that bragging rights all the way up until March when the season begins, or late March or early April, whenever it is, until the season starts. But even then, you're still defending champs as you're going into the World Series next year. You're defending champs. You guys are the ones to beat, and let's beat the defending champs. And so that's
I
amazing.
think it's just amazing that it's they lose their best player. They make some underrated trades, trades that no one thought. It was like, man, they're taking long shots. And they just worked. And it's just crazy that it came to that. There was, at the point where I knew that this team had the possibility of really doing some damage, was the first game of the NLCS.
Okay.
When the Braves were able to win off of a walk-off in that game, because up until that point they had continued to keep up with the Dodgers, and the Dodgers could not pull away from them. The Dodgers would score, then the Braves would score. The Dodgers would score, and then the Braves would score. And the Braves pitching was really excellent with that bullpen. But once they had that walk-off, I was like, oh, this team has something. They just had that juice.
Had the juice.
I mean, I really don't know what else to describe it as. Is that they had that. They didn't have momentum. I'll tell you that.
Oh, come on now.
It wasn't momentum. It's not momentum that they had, but every single game you saw the Braves fighting, and you could not put them away.
Yeah, that's one thing I was going to mention. It's just they kept scoring runs. They kept they just couldn't keep him at bay. I mean, almost every
Yep.
game in the series, it seemed like that they all close for the most part, and they just that impressed me a lot because going in, you look at the Dodgers as that team, like you were saying, like they're the ones with the offense that like they're the ones that are hard. You're no lead safe with the Dodgers, but with the Braves were that team in the playoffs this year. No matter what, they just, like I said, kept fighting, and they just kept chipping away.
Mm-hmm. And the thing is, people are still discounting the Braves for what they did. The Brewers won 95 games. The Braves won that series 3-1. The Dodgers won 107 games. The Braves won that series in 6 games. The Houston Astros won 96 games or something around there. The Braves won that series in 6 games. None of these series were relatively close. Braves had 3-1 leads on all of them.
That's right.
All of them. There's nothing you can say about that. I saw this one stupid motherfucker on Twitter, and I gotta call him a stupid motherfucker. I'm
all right,
sorry.
get the popcorn ready. Come on.
Goodness gracious. This man said, well, the Braves are lucky they didn't play the Dodgers in a 10-game series. What are you talking about?
10-game series? What?
What are you talking about?
What is that guy smoking?
I don't know, but it's like, yo, what makes you think that a 10-game series would have changed the outcome?
Exactly. It's just like that it can't be right. We got to do like a recount. So it's like it's just a recount. We got to keep it going. There's no way it was right.
Thanks, Kern. They won 95 games, but come on. You beat a team in 6 games. That's not close.
Yeah.
You know how hard that is?
Mm-hmm. It's extremely hard.
I
hate people like that too. It's just like they can't accept the fact. There's always denial. They always got to like, oh wait, but if there was this, there wouldn't happen. And
these people trying to cheapening up this World Series.
Exactly.
Man. It's just like, yo, take it for what it is. The qualifications is that you win 3 games in the division series, you win 4 games in the championship series, and then you win 4 games in the World Series. That's what they did. They are champions. Shut the hell up.
Get out of here. Get them out. I agree with you, man. That's just blasphemy, man. At this point,
it really makes no sense. I really feel like people don't have a healthy way of looking at sports without trying to disprove stuff. Yo, if they won, quit saying that. Oh, it's like looking at the Buccaneers and Chiefs Super Bowl last year and saying, well, if they played 8 quarters. The Chiefs would have probably won. It's like, but there's only 4.
Yeah, it's been that way for years since it's been created. So why would they? There's no sense at all. It's extremely off the wall.
I bring these things up because mainly Scott Boras came out and said that the Braves World Series was won because of teams taking. And it makes absolutely no sense that the trade deadline in trade acquisitions have been around in baseball for a very long time.
Yeah.
That's just the crux of what it is. There's only one team that can win every single year. When a team knows that they're bad enough that they can't win, they sell pieces to build for the next year.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't get it.
I'll tell you what happened. Braves won the deadline. Every single acquisition they made contributed, besides maybe Richard Rodriguez. But he's a pirate. He's a pirate. So what can you expect?
Yeah, he did
But-
well for a second, and then he just started giving up
Yeah.
home runs.
Which is crazy because he was dominant for this whole year up to that point with the Pirates. So that was
he
kinda surprising.
wasn't dominant when you look at the stats. He was giving up fly balls. They just weren't turning into home runs.
Okay.
And then that came way back to the mean for him in the last month of the season.
Yeah. But besides that one outlier, the main, which Rich Rodriguez wasn't really supposed to be, like I know with you, with Will Smith was like during the season was very stressful to watch and just really couldn't close the door. So
he was still stressful to watch in the post.
Well, but he really got.
But every pitch is stressful to watch.
Yeah, and when you're in that, every pitch matters then. So really, you're on the edge of your seat, especially. Mm-hmm. But it's just every series it seemed like one of the acquisitions did something and were like the MVPs of those series pretty much.
Absolutely.
And looking on the outside, people were like the names they got. It's like, oh, I see the next Soler. I know that he can contribute. Okay, and Rosario, he's hurt right now. Okay, I guess that could be some depth there. But really, and I like that as a small market fan, that those kind of trades and that gives me hope as a Pirate fan that Pirates could make those kind of moves. Those weren't expensive moves. They didn't do anything major to get those guys. So I really think that gives me hope as well. So I like seeing teams that do that and it turns into success like that and then they pay off like that, which, like I said, anything can happen at trade deadline. You can go big and they're going to play big. You could go big and spend big and they're not going to produce at all and it's just like a waste. But it's just it's chance at this. It's just you're betting. That's all it is. But that's really great to see though, and especially for the city of Atlanta as well, not having a championship drought that long.
Yeah, as an Atlanta fan, because Braves country has a lot of different states that encompass it. It has the top half of, or the panhandle and top portion of Florida, has the Carolinas, has Tennessee, Alabama, goes into even Louisiana. Mm-hmm. That's all the Braves country, and you can't discount the TBS effect. Yep. So Braves country is absolutely huge. But in terms of Atlanta fans and what this championship meant for Atlanta, it completely tore down all of this narrative of Atlanta sports just can't do anything right. There's always a curse. And now I ain't got to hear that shit.
Yeah. Because
that shit hurts.
I'm sure.
It really does.
I'm sure.
It's just constantly hearing about that stuff. It's just like, I watch every game. I know exactly what's going on. Mm-hmm. But the way that came out and they just handled their business, like I said, winning in 4 games, winning in 6 games, winning in 6 games, that's not easy to do. They never faced an elimination game throughout the playoffs.
It's absolutely
and that's
insane.
Just absolutely incredible.
It is. It sure is.
And it feels like a weight's lifted off of me because like that's one of my first like real championship.
That you can really be a part of.
I don't really count the MLS because it's like MLS has grown, but that's not a major sport in America. Yeah. That's not I've only been an MLS fan for 4 years. I've been a Atlanta fan, Falcons, Braves, Hawks, my whole life. And they've gone through some rough times.
Yeah, definitely.
That was a championship for the city.
Exactly. Because the Braves were the ones to do it, in my opinion. Out of all the teams, they've been the most consistent as division winners a lot of years. They always are competing. It seems to be competitive. Falcons had their chance, obviously.
Even those were looked at as disappointing because they only won one World Series. But it's like, you know how hard it is to win a World Series?
Yeah.
Or a championship in any sport?
Exactly, man. I just don't, people just, it keeps happening and repetition of it, and they just start saying, and it does get, and I know that feeling of, this as a Pirate fan is one that I relate to the most with that. It's just like, oh, they're never gonna win. Like you're like they're in your whole lifetime they're never gonna win, and that hurts because like I'm blessed to have other sports, the Penguins and the Steelers, that have actually won a or a championship. That I'm like, at least I was a part of it. Like that, like I can't. There not many people can say at least not just one, but two of their teams won a championship and multiple times. But the Pirates, for me, the baseball is my, and I know because I think the baseball is your sport, your favorite sport. Braves are your probably favorite team of your city. So, and that's how I hope someday I get that feeling of, because that would be the most special, especially all the hardships that I've had to go through as a fan my whole life. Because I was 21 when I saw my first winning season as a Pirate fan. 21 years old. Since I was born. That's sad. Took till 2013 to get a winning season, but they lucked out and got in the playoffs. So
I and that kind of like bringing me a little more perspective of, I at least had winning seasons growing up. They didn't always turn out well, but I had them, and they were there.
They were there. So, but hey, you're at the top of the mountain now, so that's all that matters.
Yeah.
Finally did it.
Goodness gracious. Whew. You looking forward to any sports this weekend?
Well, right now my Pitt Panthers are playing. They're up 17-0 on North Carolina already.
Yeah, I got it on the TV. They whooping that butt.
Yep, and it's big because they got to win out, or at least the next two for sure, to make the ACC championship. So right now, this is the main game I've been looking forward to, and then Steelers play the Lions for me. But I'm trying to think who's the other. I mean, I'm interested to see the Packers in Seattle, see how that plays out. If Aaron Rodgers, we won't know till what, Saturday night, if he can play or not. Is it Saturday night?
Yeah, we won't know until Saturday. He has to test positive or negative on Saturday.
Yep. So
hopefully he's already tested negative right now. In all seriousness, I hope he recovers.
Yeah,
just fine.
Especially for me, because I want him on the Steelers next year. So it's kind of changed the perspective on the situation, but still
a little bit.
But hey, his skill level is all I'm looking at as an athlete. But But yeah, so I think that game right there is one I'm kind of looking at. If Rodgers is healthy and able to play, that's going to be a good game, I think, to watch.
Yeah, well, the Falcons playing the Cowboys.
That's true too. I think that's
Dan Quinn Bowl.
Dan Quinn Bowl.
We'll see how that goes.
I think Atlanta covers.
It kind of sucks that the Falcons have to play the Cowboys after what they did this past week, because the Cowboys are going to bounce back pretty well. I'm just hoping that the Falcons can put forward a good game and do what they're capable of doing, which is like, their offense is still pretty good even without Calvin Ridley. And that's something that we could have talked about today as well. It's just a lot of things going on in sports.
So much. Yeah, that was kind of surprising me, but I mean, good for him for actually doing that. That takes a lot to be able to step away like that, and your personal life comes first. So
yeah, I'm just hoping that he gets the help he needs.
Exactly.
My goodness. But what a hell of a return of Slipping the Man.
And what a train wreck at the beginning, which you wouldn't want anything different. So I'm glad that happened.
The train wreck, and we got it moving. Now we know what we're doing going forward.
You don't want to be on our way now, let me tell you.
Anyway, this has been Slipping the Man, where we give you our notes, thoughts, opinions, viewpoints, all that other good stuff. We'll be back next week. Y'all take care.
Peace.